Hi friends, welcome back. In today's video, we will see how to use a very simple but important formula, row and rows, in Microsoft Excel. Now, the formula row will give the location of the row for any given reference, and the formula rows will count the number of rows in a given array. We will also see this through an example. In the row formula, you are giving reference to a cell, and in rows, you are giving reference to a range. Now, here I've taken a data set wherein I have names of candidates and their relevant marks. So now I will use the row formula. I click on column number C, close parenthesis. This should give me the row number where that cell is located. I will again apply the same formula. This time I will select column D. So both C10 and D10 are located in row number 10. So we get the same result over here. Now let me use the formula rows. When I use the formula rows and I select the data range, it will count the number of rows in that data range, which is 7. So I should get the output as 7. So this was a very simple application of the row and rows formula. But how to use them practically? We will see that. As I mentioned, row and rows formula will be used in conjunction with or along with the helper formulas. So here I have a data set and my objective is to find the ranking of the students or the highest marks obtained, the rankings being first, second and third. Here I will use the large formula to do this. The objective is not to explain the large formula but to show how to use the row and rows formula. So here I will simply apply the large formula, select the array, and this will give me, I'll apply a comma first, then the kth value. Kth is the ranking that I need, the first value. So 300 is the highest value in column number B. So I get the highest value over here. I will freeze the data range. Now drag it down and change the ranking to 2. What will happen? It will give me the second highest value. Then I will change it to 3. So this gives me the third highest. Now I will do the same activity using a helper column. Column E over here is my helper column, wherein I have assigned rankings 1, 2 and 3. So instead of manually writing 1, I'll just select 1 over here, then copy the same formula down below. So what is happening is, it just took the rankings 1, 2 and 3 from column E. Let us now use the row method along with the large function. So I'll type equal to large and then I will select the data range. Then I need to find out the kth value. Kth value means the ranking that I need. So what I'll do is I'll apply the row formula, give a reference, and what is my reference over here? Reference is I'll give C1. So what will happen when I select C1? It will take the row number 1 and accordingly compute the value. Now in order to apply the same formula to the cells down below, I will freeze some data. That is, I freeze the data range and then dragged it down. So now we have the same result using the row method or row formula. I will use the rows method now. So now what will rows method do? If I type rows and select the data range, what it will give? It will give me the count of the number of rows in that array. So here it will give me the output as 7 rows. Now I will have to change the data range later. So this is just to explain to you what the rows function is doing. When you press enter, you will get the output as 7. So now apply the large function along with this rows method. Equal to large. Now select the array. After selecting the array, then we have to give the kth value. How is the kth value being calculated over here? Through the rows formula. Now here, as I mentioned, that I'll have to change the data range. What I will do is I will select B1 to B1. Why? Because for the first value, how many rows do I need? To calculate the first value, only one row using the rows formula. So now I'll just change the data range. I will have to freeze B3 to B10, and then in the rows formula I'll have to select B1 to B1. And in the next line, what will happen? It will calculate from B1 to B2. So there will be two rows. When it counts for the third ranking, then it will count from B1 to B3. So this is how you use row and rows method along with other formulas. There can be number of examples for this. I will now cover a very simple but important application of this formula. Now, all of us have been working with serial numbers in any data table or data range. What happens is you may use different methods for assigning a serial number. Here, this is the simplest method wherein you just add 1 to the cell of the previous number, then you will drag it down. So here, when any row is deleted, you get a reference error because it is unable to find the previous cell reference. So this gives an error. Now, the second method that we can use is the sequence formula. Not going into very depth with the sequence formula, simply I assign how many rows I need or up to which I need the serial numbers. So here I needed 10 serial numbers. Now a disadvantage of this formula is if you try and deleting a row, it will not allow you to delete because it does not contain the formula there. The formula sits only in G10. Now comes our row formula. See carefully how I use this formula. Row, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, then again I subtract the row. What happens here is when I type the formula row, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, first it will give me the current location of that cell. So here in this formula, what I did was first it gave me the output as 10. Then from 10 it subtracted 9, that is the G9 cell. So that is why when you drag this, you get an automatic serial numbering. When you try deleting it, serial numbers automatically change. So in terms of assigning a serial number, this can be the best method to assign the serial number. However, it can make your files a bit heavy. That's all for this video. For more related content, do subscribe to our channel. Keep liking, keep sharing. Thank you.